Hi everyone, this is the fifth update on our old friend Orchid W6. And one of the first videos I made on this site was about this orchid, and that was on June 6th. An update on June 10th, then June 19th, and the last full update was on June 30th. And on July 17th, I had an update of all my rootless orchids, and I included this one in it, but it was by no means a full update of W6. And so this new leaf on the left progressively grew from 1 inch on the 10th, then it was 2.5 inches on the 19th, then 3.5 inches on the 30th, and it's now 5 inches. Interestingly, on June 30th, let's see, yeah, that's a long time ago. That was 2 months ago. This leaf on the right didn't even start. So that's over 5 inches long, and it wasn't even there in the last video. So that's pretty amazing. Let's take it out of the jar and take a look at the roots once again. And here it is. Now, if you watched that original video on June 6th, my initial intent in dealing with this orchid was to beef up these floppy leaves. And I thought, well, I could just soak it a lot, and that's what I tried doing. And then in subsequent videos, there really wasn't much change. And, well, why wasn't there much change? Well, because at the time, there were no roots. Duh. So from that time on, all of these older, let me get this back in here. All of these older floppy leaves, this one that recently fell off, it's just from attrition. This one here, there's another one under here. They became like martyrs for the cause. And their interest was not in themselves or strengthening themselves, but strengthening the rest of the orchid. And that's why you have these two great new leaves that are very hard and stiff, while these remain floppy here. So this is a tribute to the power of photosynthesis. Now, getting back to the roots, you see this long one here, right there, and it goes back down. That was just beginning on June 6th. I don't even think we could barely see that one, but it was that root and then this root. There were two new roots coming out, but look at what's happening now. First of all, this new root grew to about 3 inches. You can't see, there's the tip. But look at the little bud coming off of it right there. And look at this. Right over here, you have a new bud coming out, and there's a new tiny little one right to the left of it. And then as we come down further, you have this terminated root here with two new root buds coming off of it. And let me turn this over. There you get a better picture. Here's another terminated root with two new branches coming off of it. Nothing over here yet, although something might be popping out of there shortly. So this orchid, like I think 6 others, has been in the intensive care unit for months now. And I thought it was, you know, with all this new growth, that I could treat it like a regular orchid. So on Thursday, August 21st, I soaked it for 8 hours, and there really wasn't much of a change in the MSW of 18.0. And then I tried it 2 days later, soaked it for 2 hours, and there wasn't much change. So I felt that the roots weren't really ready yet to support the orchid. And consequently, I went back to ICU treatment, which is every other day for a half an hour to 45 minutes, just treating it like a rootless orchid. And then just filling the water up to about here. There's a video on that. And that's what I've been doing with this, and just being patient with it. And the roots will grow out at some point and then be able to support the rest of the orchid. But at this stage, the martyr leaves are just, focused on new roots and these 2 new leaves. And what's nice is that these 2 new leaves can start making a positive contribution to the rest of the plant through their own use of photosynthesis. So that's it for the update, and perhaps in a month or two, Orchid W6 will have graduated from the intensive care unit and will be able to be treated like a regular orchid.